Honourable Dr. David Kilgour, during his last 30 years in Canada's Parliament, was Secretary of State for Latin America and Africa and Secretary of State for Asia Pacific. He's currently a director in the Washington-based Council for a Community of Democracies, co-chair of the Canadian Friends of a Democratic Iran, and legal advisor to the Interfaith Committee for the support of protected persons in Ashraf, Iraq.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends, thank you, Nazanin, for putting on this event. Thank you very much for pointing out that none of us here today are in favor of an invasion of Iran. We want to strengthen civil society in Iran and bring democracy and the rule of law to all of the people of Iran. Let me begin with a question. Why is President Ahmadinejad, who appears to be the antithesis of virtually all that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto him, stood for, being hosted this week in Manhattan at an interfaith dinner? Who at the dinner, ladies and gentlemen, will mention the thousands upon thousands of children, women, men who have been murdered as victims of Iran's government since 1979? I hope somebody will. The event comes the same month that the UN's very patient nuclear agency announced that it had reached a dead end with Iran due to its refusal to cooperate. The Iranian government is also intensifying, as all the speakers here today have indicated, the persecution of its own people. Imagine, as Nazanin pointed out, 140 children on death row. 2 women in Tehran are to be stoned to death on allegations of adultery. Others are imprisoned and killed for apostasy and blasphemy. Although the Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto him, clearly said that there is to be no compulsion in matters of religion. The dinner coincides with the Iranian Parliament's adoption of a mandatory death penalty for apostasy. Among its primary targets, of course, are the 300 to 350,000 member Baha'i community. The entire Baha'i leadership, as I'm sure you all know, remain in Evin prison, having been held there without charges or access to legal counsel since May 14th in the case of 6, and since early March in the case of the 7th. They've only recently been moved out of solitary confinement. The Iranian government knows full well that its claims that the Baha'is are acting against national security and are Zionist spies are utterly baseless. A woman who spent 5 years in prison, the judge who condemned her, a mullah, spent 2 minutes disposing of her case. So in conclusion, my friend and countryman, Erwin Kotler, is absolutely right. The president of Iran, Ahmadinejad, should not be given a dinner in this city by churches and of different faiths. He should be indicted by the International Criminal Court for his crimes against humanity to his fellow citizens of Iran.
I'm hopeful that we're going to meet here in the next few years and have a wall of fame in a way that when Iran is a democratic, free country, secular, based on the fundamental human rights and freedoms, based on the rule of law, we will be able to have a leader that actually represents the voice of the people. So thank you so much. See you soon. And don't forget to go to stopchildexecutions.com.